So first of all, I would like to ask you, we saw, February 3rd, a massive protest in Ladakh. And, like with a lot of places, Ladakh, when something like this happens, people are suddenly, woken up and, start figuring out what exactly is happening there on the ground. So can you tell us what is
Mhm.
the issue? Why are people protesting?
Protest or the demonstration rally on 3rd February was to show to the leaders in center that people of Ladakh are for these agendas, the 4-point agenda of statehood, of safeguards under sixth schedule, of job security, of parliamentary constituencies for Leh and Kargil. Now, this has its origin from 2019 when Ladakh was made into a union territory. People were very happy. They had been dreaming for this. There should be a time when Ladakh is its own entity. And that was fulfilled by this government. People were very grateful, very jubilant. Um, and for the safeguards that the the indigenous people of Ladakh and the environment, the fragile mountain ecosystem requires, was expected from the sixth schedule of the Indian Constitution. While people expected the UT to be a UT with legislature, which will be like a state where people have a forum for participation, electing their MLAs and a chief minister with elected representatives, formalizes a path of development. None of that happened. Like Ladakh was uh, left like a UT without legislature. As for the expectation for safeguards under sixth schedule, the government was very generous, and assured the people that they will be taken under the sixth schedule of the constitution. These are reflected in various minutes of the meetings of National Commission for Scheduled Tribe, and the tribal minister had personally come here and assured and wrote letters to me saying they are uh, doing it. They are putting Ladakh under sixth schedule. Okay. And after that, it appeared also in election manifestos. Election manifestos, two of them had safeguards for Ladakh under sixth schedule as the top most points. I have a manifesto here. So in the parliamentary elections in 2019, it was number 3 on the list of promises they made. In the Hill Council elections, which are even more prestigious, it's the number 1 point. Says constitutional safeguard for Ladakh under sixth schedule of Indian Constitution. This is number 1 promise of the ruling party in the election. So people were expecting that they'll keep their promise. But in months and a year or so, first there was silence, and then finally it was objected to. Anytime people spoke about sixth schedule, there'd be, um, action on them. We first thought that the central government is backing out on their promises, and people couldn't, imagine what happened between the promises and the silence and then the resentment. So now people think that perhaps there are some lobbies, perhaps industrial lobbies, mining lobbies, which do not want Ladakh safeguarded. And together with some local leaders, they are, giving this signal to the center that this is not a demand of the people here. We should not safeguard Ladakh under sixth schedule. And therefore, the center is also hesitating doing it. There's some influence. Otherwise, they had promised in writing. So this is now a very serious issue in Ladakh, because these local leaders of the ruling party, local Ladakhi leaders, even went on media saying that this is just the demand of few people. It's not public demand. To answer that, the people came out on the streets on 3rd February. They came in numbers like 30,000, which is unprecedented in the history of Ladakh to have so many people. It's like 1/3 of the adult population of Leh Ladakh, which came on the streets in the polo ground. Huh? To tell the government it's not the voice of, say, someone like me. I have been championing this cause, but it's not just one person, is what they wanted to prove. Because in the recent past, they have had such allegations that it is just one or two people, or they tried to silence me also. So people came out to say that it's not just one person, it's the whole of Ladakh that demands it. That's the first reason.
Okay.
Secondly, people are also very, restless now. Several talks have happened and nothing has come out. And now we hear there's this next talk on the 19th, which will be the last talk because after that elections will be declared. So to impress upon the government that it is a genuine demand of all the people and to remove all these middlemen in between so that central government directly takes notice of how serious it is for the Ladakhi people. This.
So last time you were quoted saying that if this continues, that people of Ladakh would feel they were better off with J&K in the earlier setup. Do you still hold that view?
Yeah, many people are saying that. I think that's the extent of their pain. I don't think that people really want to be, in a state where their peculiar environmental conditions do not, match. So states are breaking to become new states, and that's a process of development. But people are expressing their anguish and pain, saying that, in some things, yes, you can see that uh, this is hopeless. So what they would really like is Ladakh to get the safeguards and the democracy restored, just like in J&K. So J&K got, assurance from the government that statehood would be restored. Ladakh feels, what's their crime? To be left without any democratic participation.
And if it didn't happen, what would be the road forward?
Okay, so in yesterday's 3rd February's huge rally, day before yesterday, people shared their desperation. And while I had already announced 3 weeks of hunger, fast, that's not so important. I'm nothing. But Shri Thupstan Sewang, who is like the father of Ladakh, father of the nation, and most respected, people would anytime give their lives for him. He announced on that day that after 19th, if it doesn't materialize into anything as per the demands, then he will go on indefinite fast unto death. And following him, hundreds of people are coming out to do the same. Right now, there is a press conference, I think, going on where they're making rosters, asking villagers to make rosters of who will come first, and if they die, who else, and if they die, who else. And village after village will come into the city of Leh to protest. So they're making these rosters of villages. So that's how serious it is going to be.
So you are starting your fast, a protest fast. Tell us about it. You did it last time as well, right? Tell me, what is your plan? How do you want to go forward?
I did it in January last year, outdoors in -25. Then I did in June, in the middle of summer, scorching sun for 9 days. And this time it was of 3 weeks, starting 3rd February. But that's when Thupstan Sewang sir said that wait till 19th. Government has called us for a talk, and we shouldn't do it before the talks. And if the talks get derailed, then I will also join on this fast unto death. So mine is postponed till after 19th to 3 weeks again, which can be indefinite unto death if needed.
You were also quoted saying this is Ladakh ki aakhiri baat. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm. That's what it means. After that, people will start dying. Yes. And 21 days for myself also, it's 50-50 chances of life or death. And if it seems like it's heading nowhere, it may become indefinite. So therefore, it's akhiri.
Your fast will start after 19th if nothing comes out, right? It's not going to happen
Yes.
now.
If we very much hope we'll not have to do, our prayers are that sense prevails and that we'll not have to do. We are not like dying to die. So we hope things will be come out very well. Government will keep its promises, and we'll all live happily ever after. But if not, that's the plan.
So for now, you're saying that the villagers are making a roster of who is going to fast first and who will follow them, right?
No, first it will be Kupstan Sewang Sahab and me.
Hmm.
If we die, who next and how many? All that roster is being prepared.
Okay. Ladakh is run by a lieutenant governor. Well, many people would ask you, what is the problem in that? I mean, it's a small
Mhm.
place. Why not?
Yes, yes. It's the same as a place be coming under president's rule or governor's rule. It's okay for any state or region to come in emergencies for a few months. But imagine being in permanent governor's rule. If that's not acceptable anywhere else, then it's not in Ladakh also. If India is a democratic country, then Ladakh deserves to be a part of that. Yeah.
Hmm.
So therefore, why not Ladakh? It's not why Ladakh.
Hmm. I'm just asking.
And about lieutenant governors, yes, about lieutenant governors. So this has become a place which is ruled by one person's whims and fancies. It's like a dictatorship, you know. You may get a very good dictator called benevolent dictator. You are very lucky, but there is no guarantee. So some LGs are very, very good. Some can be very bad, and the consequences of their misdeeds will be borne by the local population for generations. They will come and they'll go. They come with no knowledge, understanding of the region, which is so peculiar. The second reason why this will not work is that Ladakh is like another planet. So somebody who has no clue will take 3 years to learn. And by the time they have learned, they'll be gone. So it will be a disaster of a place. Yeah?
Hmm.
And the disaster will be, borne by the people here. They'll go away. So that's why it has to be democratic.
It's also a sensitive place. There are, we have neighbors on two sides. We recently saw
Yeah.
this skirmish with the shepherds, that
Mm-hmm.
the Chinese army had.
Mm-hmm.
You have any comments on that?
Yeah, so it's a sensitive place. Therefore, all the more reasons to have it like a normal part of India. If we say this is a sensitive place, we cannot have democracy here, then it will be like you're accepting it is a disputed area. We don't know these people may go towards China. Maybe China's claim on Ladakh is right. So you're giving them strength in that argument. In Chinese maps, they show Ladakh. Now, if India says, yes, it is disputed, we are keeping it without democracy because it is disputed. Places like Lakshadweep and these Daman, Diu, they are small and they are acquired from, say, another country, Portugal. So maybe that's the reason why they don't have legislature, although I think they should also have. But to treat Ladakh like that will be like accepting that it is also acquired from another country, and which China will be happy to say, yes, it was mine, you have acquired. Look, you have kept it like a disputed territory. So all the more reasons on the international platform to show that Ladakh is like a normal place, just like Sikkim, just like Arunachal. Sensitive border, Arunachal is also, Sikkim is also. You're not removing democracy from there. So why from Ladakh? Right. Secondly, I've been saying that this will come as a distrust on the people of Ladakh. People of Ladakh who have, been with the Indian Army in every war on the war front, voluntarily moving their equipment and women cooking food for them. This support of the local population is what Indian Army can boast, which Chinese army cannot boast, because Tibetans are not with them. They are against. They would kill them if they could. Similarly, in Skardu-Baltistan, they are not with Pakistan. They actually want to come to India. Ladakh only India can boast of a population that's fully in tune with the rest of the nation. So to keep such a people, handicapped will be not in the interest of national security in this sensitive area. It will be a strategic blunder to lose the trust and faith of the people in Ladakh.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Suman sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
When we put this out, we'll send you a link, definitely.
You put this out, or it's for other
so
agencies you give?
We put it out for other agencies, but we also use it on our social media, Twitter and all. So those links we'll put it out.
Can I add something more? You can edit and add.
Yeah, please,
because
please.
This is often misunderstood by people.
Yeah, so please.
So people often ask whether sixth schedule is to stop people from outside come to Ladakh, set up industries and so on. There are two things. Ladakhis are not against industries or development. All that sixth schedule does is requires the consultation of local indigenous people in any agenda. So sixth schedule is about setting up councils of indigenous people with legislative rights, lawmaking rights, and any industry can come, but not without consultation and consent of the people. So it is just to take their consent. Right now, there is nothing about local representation. So any person can do anything without locals having any say. So that's one part. Secondly, it's not also about protecting Ladakh from outside alone. It's as much protecting Ladakh from Ladakhi people. We can do a lot of damage also. Like there's Pangong Lake, there's Somoriri Lake, very fragile ecosystems. Now the Changpa tribes that live there are the best stewards and guardians of that ecosystem, not people in Leh like me. So that ecosystem needs to be protected from people like me also. We have the Aryan tribes, the Brokpas, who need to be left to their own choices, how they want to develop. They should be protected from me also. So it's about protecting sensitive, fragile ecosystems and cultures from others, including Ladakhis. As far as people from outside coming, I have always open for every. There can be economic growth. So there should be some stretches that are open for all. There should be other stretches that are closed even for me, Ladakhi people. We must protect. So that's what sixth schedule guarantees. And that's why people want this provision and not just any, domicile or constitutional safeguard. We want something that protects this land from indiscriminate, blind industries and, what has happened in Himachal, Uttaranchal, etc. The consequences you see this year with all the devastation there.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks for giving your time.
Do please add this.
Definitely. Thank you.
Do please add this, because without that, it's often misunderstood.
I get that. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
अगर आप ये वीडियो YouTube पर देख रहे हैं तो हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें और बेल आइकन को दबाना ना भूलें। अगर आप Facebook पर ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं तो हमारे पेज को लाइक करें।